from the Northeast as they head south for money and glory. Late Modelton Stock V8 will also be in action for their first taste of the high banks in 2024. I-95 south of the border cash money showdown February 4th at Lakeview Motor Speedway, and it's only on Racing America.
It's gonna be the wildest ride in the world.
We've not had anything like that before.
The guys that run with me are coming to run,
And we are all very thankful for that.
SRI Performance and Stock Car Steel are your all-inclusive motorsports warehouses with more than 450 product lines. They have everything to put you in victory lane, from professional racing to street performance. SRI and Stock Car Steel have you covered with leading brands as well as a large selection of steel, aluminum, and plastics. With locations in North Carolina and Indiana, access has never been easier. SRI has the world's largest inventory of used parts. SRI Performance and Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, your one-stop shops for everything racing.
Glad to have you back here with us at Dillon Motor Speedway as we get ready now for street stock qualifying as part of the 14th annual New Year's Bash. And we want to welcome all you folks joining us for a live look-in on Facebook. Allan Dietz and Wesley Outland is here with you, are here with you. Use proper English. Might not sound like I know proper English, but I actually do know a little bit of proper English. Anyway, we're glad that you're watching here with us on Facebook Live, also on our Racing America channel, and of course on RacingAmerica.tv. Following qualifying, our coverage will shift solely to RacingAmerica.tv. So if you're joining us on Facebook or the Racing America channel and you've not purchased your coverage yet, go to RacingAmerica.tv and purchase coverage of tonight's action as well as tomorrow afternoon's action. And throughout the weekend, continue to use hashtag New Year's Bash, hashtag New Year's Bash, and let the folks know where you're watching from. As we get ready to go, nearly 40 street stocks set to try and get 20 spots here to get locked into tomorrow afternoon's New Year's Bash. If they do not qualify in the top 20, then they go to the last chance race. But as we saw last year, you got to go through some post-tech. And we saw a couple of cars get bumped out after tech last year, Wesley, and that bumped some cars back in.
No, you're exactly right. And if you're one of these drivers of upwards to 40, the pressure cooker has to be kind of like what it is to make the top 30 at the Snowball Derby in December for the super late models in these street stocks. And right now, let's see who can get it started. Ackworth, Georgia, number 7, a former Bass champion. Here comes Jeff Sparks. He'll be the first man at the guinea pig, if you will, to qualify, Allan.
Yeah, Jeff Sparks looked like last year could be his year for his first New Year's Bash win. If you remember, he led a lot of the second half of this race and ended up getting taken out battling for the lead while he was up front in the lead. His first lap around here, 18.948. White flag is out. See what he does here on this lap, a little quicker, 18.721. 18.721. You mentioned the Mass Championship. He's a two-time Mass Series champion. See what he does here on lap number 2, coming around to get the checkered flag. And that is the quickest lap, 18.245. 18.245. That'll be the established mark.
5th attempt this year for the driver of Jeff Sparks. And here comes a man that needs no introduction, racing for a long time, has recently moved to Houston, Texas, part of the Plowboy Racing program. This is the number 27 of David Thomas. David Thomas now on the racetrack, of course. Long time out of the Statesville, North Carolina area. His job is now making him be a lot in Texas, and obviously we'll see what this 27 can do here in his 9th attempt at the New Year's Bash, Allan.
And you'll remember a few years ago he got involved in an accident over in turn 4, and that's when the fan actually tried to famously jump the fence. 18.503 on that lap for David Thomas. Drove a 3 Monte Carlo that looked just like Dale Earnhardt's Goodwrench Monte Carlo for a long time. Quickest lap will stay 18.503. As the next driver out on the speedway, and just so you know, these laps that are coming by, those are dead laps. The first laps are dead laps. Looks like David Thomas taking an extra lap. That was his quickest lap, but I don't think it'll count.
This is Super Coupe Mike Cooper, a multi-time champion of the Carolinas from East Carolina, now dormant, Southern National. Of course, Coastal Plains and so many other facilities. And make no mistake, you want to talk about one of the guys that are hungry for a win in this event, it is Mike Cooper.
Plymouth, North Carolina, the home for Mike Cooper. Let's see, 18.930. And we did mention that extra lap that David Thomas took. That was erased as it did not count.
Thanks to everybody joining us on social media. Let us know where you're tuned in. Hashtag New Year's Bash, as Allan mentioned, on X, Facebook, Instagram, all the social media platforms at Dillon Speedway as well.
18.579. That'll be where Mike Cooper slots in as the next driver out on the racetrack. From Norway, Michigan, Joey Pontbriand, track champion at his home track, Norway Speedway, this past year. He raced at Rockford in the final National Short Track Championship, raced Sumit Slinger. Lots of different racetracks out in the Midwest, and Joey Pontbriand trying to see what he's got here. First lap, 18.657.
Beautiful looking machine from, of course, the Motor City area. Let's see what happens for Pontbriand.
Pretty good, 18.434. That's second quick. And remember the other car, number 7, of Jeff Sparks, his fast lap was his final lap. Time to beat, 18.245. Let's see if Jeff Sparks can hold on. And he does, as Joey Pontbriand just a thousandth of a second slower on that final lap, 18.435 on that lap. Right now he is second quick. Jeff Sparks still on the pole. And remember, once we get down to that bump area, we'll keep you updated on who's on the bubble, who gets bumped, who bumps their way in.
Here comes that number 62 machine, the SFW Farms entry from South Royalton, Vermont. This is Shane Wilson. Nice looking race car.
Yeah, really nice looking race car. You remember a time when street stocks, they were called bombers sometimes. Boy, they have really made some nice cars. And look at this lap, 17.999. That is now the quick time for Shane Wilson. But remember, no indictment on him. They have got to go through that post-tech, and that's something we saw bite some drivers last year.
And qualifying post-inspection is vigorous as well. And he gets quicker on lap number 2. 17.999 to a 17.870 on lap number 2. Shane Wilson from Vermont now at the top spot in qualifying. Albie Ovitt, the Fall Spectacular November winner. He's already locked in the New Year's Bash, but if he can qualify to advance his position, he is on track now, Allan.
Albie Ovitt from Candia, New Hampshire. Races a lot up at Lee USA Speedway. Won a street stock race up at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. And now a team car to Gary Ledbetter this year. And we'll see what he can do.
2019 Star Speedway Street Stock champion also, Allan, I was going to say.
Very capable driver is Albie Ovitt, 18.478, fourth quick on lap 1.
Chatley Boat Marine, one of the sponsors on that machine. And we'll see him all the way down to the bottom of the apron, Allan, to try to build speed, it looks like.
Well, it's working, 18.233, now second quick for Albie Ovitt. And that we said that 62, that's actually Ronnie Basset behind the wheel of that 62 car, and they've just corrected it now. Of course, Ronnie, a regular in the Cars Tour late model stock division, and Ronnie Basset has put that 62 on the pole. Albie Ovitt second quick, and the next car out on the racetrack, this is the team car, the 5-time New Year's Bash winner, Out of Lexington, North Carolina, Gary Ledbetter Jr.
So can we clarify, Allan? He is driving for the driver that we mentioned.
Shane Wilson.
Of Shane Wilson. But Ronnie Basset Jr. is the man driving that race car.
Yep.
It is not Shane Wilson. It's the driver, Ronnie Basset Jr. We wanted to put that clarification out there. And if I remember correctly, Ronnie Basset lives near the Hickory, Statesville area, somewhere around that part.
Yep. Winston-Salem.
Winston-Salem.
All right.
There you go.
Gary Ledbetter Jr., he puts it fourth. 18.291, his quickest lap, 18.291. We talked about this young man just a little bit earlier. Got a couple teammates here this weekend, including his dad out of Painesville, Ohio, Joshua Way, 12 years old, trying to make his first New Year's bash.
Man, you talk about Ronnie Basset, and that name synonymous to late models.
Yep.
Looking at now what he's done some NASCAR races as well. Let's see here with the 51, the 12-year-old, the son out of Painesville, Ohio, Joshua Way.
It's
First New Year's bash, Allan, and that Days of Thunder Mello Cold Trickle throwback.
It's going to be huge if he can get locked into the top 20 for his first time. Right now, 19.009 is his quickest lap, and he's probably going to have to pick it up because that's just good enough for 8th quick right now.
Basset, Ovid, Sparks, Ledbetter, Contraband, right now your top 5. If you're keeping track, 3 from the north, 2 in the south in the top 5 in qualifying, Allan.
18.551. That'll move Joshua Way up to 7th quick. And, you know, we were talking about this a little bit earlier with Racing America's social director, Will Bellamy. I love this race car. This car number 96,
oh, yes.
Talk about a throwback race car. Out of Greenville, South Carolina, this is Max Porter.
Max Porter on the track now from Greenville, South Carolina. Beautiful looking race machine there. I mean, there's a lot of work that went behind making that race car look like it does, Allan.
Yeah, and there's so many here, and it's just like this every year. We see some of these great cars. 18.972 on his first lap, 18.611. That's not the quick of the 9 cars that have qualified.
And remember, if you're tuned into the social live look-in via Racing America on Facebook, or if you're on the broadcast already, the number is 20 tonight. But remember, there's that absolutely crucial post-inspection where if something's not right, Allan, they'll throw you out. And we've seen drivers get locked in that were not going to make the top 20. Here's a former winner of the New Year's Bash because of a disqualification from a few years ago, Kyle Lynch.
Max Porter, he bumped way up in that 96, 18.361, his final lap. That put him 5th, and that may get him locked in, as Wesley said, now on track to 16, Kyle Lynch from Victoria, Virginia.